Anyways, I figure I'll just do this instead. Play this instead. So, we'll continue on. I just started New Game Plus. I wasn't trying to just move from one game to the other. It's just Red Hulk just kept kicking my ass. So I was like, I won't worry about it. So I'll just play this. Hope this doesn't kick my ass. I'm gonna switch the suit though. Guess I'll do this one, or this one, let me see here. Let me find one. Let me find a thing here, so. Find here, hello again, Underworld Dream. After I play this would be, even though this is on New Game Plus, this will be a bit easier to read comments and do stuff and play the game. So I got the thing, I have the season pass, so I got all the DLC story stuff, Arkham episodes, and all the other stuff. So this was just after. What happened? I got a phone call like 5 minutes ago, so I missed a lot. Red Hulk was beating my ass on Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So I figured, like, I was originally intending on trying to beat the arcade ladder with Spider-Man, but since I couldn't get that going, I ended up just quitting that. I figured I'd play this for a little bit on New Game Plus, so I hope that's okay. And I'm hoping soon I can see about getting the Spider-Man game. I really want to play that one soon. I'd also like to play the Resident Evil 2 remake.
I can use the Batmobile forensic scanner to follow them.
So, how have you been?
Alfred, I want the Arkham Knight's name.
As do I, Master Bruce. He has presumably chosen that title for a reason. Where do you suggest we start?
Arkham City. Go through the files of every inmate who was released following the death of
And how's your
And Alfred.
you did sculpting, I think. You did some and you've shown me some of your work too. How's that been going? I'm cleaning. Okay. Good, I'm cleaning. I'm glad that you're doing good.
It's a whole lot of tricks. Not ready for you.
Alfred, the militia have deployed a device. It's burrowed deep into the road.
Yes, I see it. Similar devices are being planted across the city.
I'll investigate.
I'm glad you and your hobby, I'm glad that that's all going well. What am I supposed to do again?
I need to investigate that device. It could be dangerous.
Okay. There we go. I spray my sculpture with varnish,
Oh dear.
and it did not
In that case,
dry even after a week. I had to strip and repaint it. Oh, that
I'm
sucks.
going to set up a remote link to the Bat computer and hit it with every virus we've got. Once we're hacked in, I can expose the core and defuse it with a controlled explosion.
I hope you were able to get
I should
things
warn you that the militia has already
sorted out
deployed
with that.
a platoon of its unmanned tanks to stop you.
They won't.
Sir, the virus upload has destabilized the device. If you move too far away and lose the connection, it will flatten everything within a 10-block radius.
Okay, let's see.
As you predicted, sir. Trying to defuse the device.
I'm trying to think about what other news has been going around lately, or what other stuff has been going on.
We lost one, sir.
He's making you look like a fool.
I know I did a video recently that was about the Jonathan Hickman X-Men run, and it's currently got equal likes, equal dislikes. 2 people liked it, 2 people disliked it. And I mean, I get it, not everybody's gonna agree, you know. It just, I was really mad at the time about it, and I figured do a video, and that'll help.
The bomb's payload is exposed.
That'll
I can use
help
the
me
power winch
feel
to
better.
trigger a controlled explosion.
It'll be fun when I can just start doing like other games as casual streams, like Marvel Spider-Man or whatever else.
Sir, that warning was broadcast publicly. I suspect the Arkham Knight wishes to discourage outside intervention.
Okay, we're getting close to the thing. But I don't know what else they'll
The Arkham
be
Knight's trail leads into Mia
doing with the Marvel
Lower the
stuff.
Mercy Bridge.
I also need to prepare for October. It's a month where many sculpture sculpts and convert orcs. I hope I can get stuff noticed so next year I guess you're trying to like get more work. I guess I could like get noticed so next year you get more work.
When you're able to lower the bridge.
Well, I hope for the best, amigo, my friend, or viewer, or I guess friend, I guess would work, I guess. I hope that's okay. But I hope your work does, and you're really good, and you get noticed and everything.
The station's crawling with the Arkham Knight's militia. I need to clear them out and find the access point they're using to hack into the transport network.
TV, for the shot. Good. We're gonna need it. You think he's coming? Oh, I know he is. Arkham Knight just kidnapped his friend. We got the drone. He's not catching us off guard. Better not. Batman accesses that terminal. I don't know what Scarecrow and the Arkham Knight will do to us.
Let's see. Hacking. You can hack to turn off.
I don't see any giant clouds of fear gas.
I need to get closer.
He went in, tore through 3 units of our guys. stop the explosion. Damn. So he's as good as the Arkham Knight says. Yeah, he is. So, the ace chemicals off my
Control codes.
I downloaded the codes. I can aim at the drone or its designated targets to turn it against them.
There we go. Thanks. Also, have you heard Gordon is black, so that maybe Batgirl is black in a future movie? Well, from what I heard, Commissioner Gordon will be black. They got an actor from Westworld to play him in the thing, and I heard he's a really good actor. The only way I could see them still doing white Batgirl with the red hair is if Barbara's adopted, which would be odd because none of the movies ever portrayed Jim having a daughter, because I think in the Dark Knight continuity, I think he had a son, I believe. And then they never did anything in any of the other movies. But Batgirl has an older brother who is a psychopath. I did not know that. I thought she was an only child. Oh, was that something the Rebirth comics did? I think that was... I don't know if that was a story. That'd be interesting. to read. I honestly wish there was just more news. I screwed that up. I really screwed that up. I was trying to aim for him. Oh, come on. I think that's all of them. Okay. They also established that they've basically split up the universes now. I think so. I remember him holding a gun to the spin of Batgirl, threatening to re-cripple her. Wow. They've basically split up the movie universes now, because you have the films that they've tried establishing with the stuff. So you have Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, and now... or Justice League, and the Birds of Prey, or the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey thing. Because they've said in that one, because that's already been established as that universe. And they said in the Birds of Prey thing, Bruce Wayne has gone missing because Ben Affleck is done playing. He's through with Batman. And then this new trilogy, which I believed was a prequel to all of this, is now casting a black man as Commissioner Gordon, which to me isn't that extreme to me. It just means it's a prequel, or it just means it's in another universe now with a young Batman. Personally, I think DC should stop being so full of themselves. If they know Batman Beyond, or if they know that Batman is this, if they want to push Batman so damn much, or push the brand name of Batman so damn much, why not do more with Batman Beyond? If they want a young Batman, instead of it being a young Bruce Wayne, why not just do Terry McGinnis?
Sweetie, you confused me with Robin. The big guy and I aren't all that close.
Oh, I know. It's because of what will happen to his feline friend if he doesn't get here in time. Shocked, Dark Knight? Stunned? You didn't expect this, did you? That is because you are no match for me, Edward Nygma, the Riddler, and your intellectual superior.
Let's throw a batarang.
Get our last meeting, Dark Knight. You humiliated me.
Throw it at the TV.
You will not beat me this time. It is utterly impossible. You cannot do it. I have won already. I will mock your attempts to solve my conundrums. I will stand triumphant over your bloody corpse. And as the dim light fades for good in your tiny dullard's mind,
Oh, it can't even. I would have loved it if it'd break it.
Come to the orphanage, detective.
Thought it would break. I guess because the screen's so damn big, I guess that's why. And I got to rent, Batman Beyond, or not rent, I got to buy, I got, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. I ordered off of Amazon, and it was amazing. I got the original uncut version of it, and it was really good. Like, I've always said, like, that Mask of the Phantasm was, like, just about the best, but it's like Return of the Joker, it's like almost knocking it out of the park for me. It's like, it's really hard to decide. I just about have them tied. And I wish they would have done more. I wish they would have done more movies. Or more Batman Beyond movies. I don't think WB thinks people know who he is. And to bring back the show for a limited series run to make it fresh in people's mind. There's been people, I don't know, because the cartoon left a big mark.
What do you call the guy who takes down the Bat?
And then there was a lot of hype. There was mentioned that there was something supposedly confirmed that they were doing a Batman Beyond in as a thing to copy off of what they did, or what Sony Animation did with Spider-Man. Or is there a way to get into that market, I guess. It was supposedly announced that they were doing a Batman Beyond animated, or it was going to be an animated theatrical Batman Beyond film. So, and it was like the whole thing, there was 3 announcements, 3 days. Like, one each day. The first announcement was like, they're saying, hey, we're going to work on this. So that had supposedly come out that they were doing that. The next day, there was the rumor that they were going to have Terry McGinnis be, they were going to cast, I don't know if this was going to affect his race in the animated movie, but there was stuff saying that they were going to cast a Chinese-American actor to do the voice of Terry. I don't know if this would have affected the character's race in the film. And then the next day after that, they said, WB, I guess, came forward and they said they weren't working on the film. So it's like they couldn't make up their minds what they were going to do. They let people believe for 2 days.
Are you okay?
And let a rumor
What little girl doesn't
spread
dream of
out
being bait for her strapping Dark Knight?
that they were going to do this, and they didn't. And yes, I have the Julie Newmar Catwoman skin on Catwoman. They bring Batman Beyond for an Arrow Crisis crossover to introduce it to the younger people. Also, I thought Terry was half Asian for a long time. In the in the show he was Caucasian. Both of his parents were white, and then they retconned the whole thing later because his mom has red hair, his dad had kind of brown hair, or reddish brown. They kind of retconned something when they did the Justice League Unlimited episode. When they did the Justice League Unlimited episode in or there was the season 1 finale, but it was called Epilogue, and it was concluding, kind of being a sort of conclusion of sorts to Batman Beyond. And they said that Amanda Waller, because Batman was starting to get older by this point, and he was getting worn out from some of the stuff. So she took some of his DNA, and she did something to Terry's dad that it, like, through a flu shot or something, it rewrote his reproductive organs or fluids or whatever to be that of Bruce Wayne. So technically, in the animated continuity, Terry and most likely Matt are the son, technically, of Bruce Wayne. So that's why Terry had had black hair, and Matt too, for two parents that didn't have black hair. But yeah, I get why people would think he looks Asian because of the way they drew the character. He kind of, people could mistake him for Asian. And I know a few years ago, that Stephen Amell's cousin, Robbie Amell, who ended up playing, and he ended up playing Firestorm, or the first Firestorm, the one that was from the comics. What am I supposed to do? Let me see. I know a few years ago, back when Robbie Amell was really more in the Arrowverse while he was like playing Firestorm or whatnot, I know he said something, he pitched a Batman Beyond series to CW, and if it had happened, I think he was going to play Terry. And I mean, nothing against the actor, but he kind of has more of a jock look to him. I mean, I think he could still pull off playing a teenager. He still has kind of that look. But it doesn't look like Terry to me. It would have been interesting to see the show at the time if it had been made when people were still back when the Arrowverse shows hadn't turned to crap, no offense. I mean, just today, I was watching an episode of Arrow. I was watching season 7, episode 3. I figured I'd get back into the show because next month the final season will be airing. So just today, I watched an episode, and it was Felicity going to the FBI agent lady, is this black lady who I think is in the FBI. Goes and says, like, oh, hey, I need your help, and basically gets her, even though she says kind of at the end, oh, it was her choice and stuff. Felicity's still pressured and stuff to have her help out, and then by the end, she gets reassigned to something else, and then Felicity, I understand, like, she wanted to help and stuff, but it's like, she ended up at the same time kind of getting her into trouble, getting the FBI lady into trouble, and now she had been reassigned. So it's like little stuff like that. It just gets tiring. And I'm very concerned if they did do CW Batman Beyond, who they would have. Like, it would most likely be Berlanti. I'm pretty sure ever since... Oh, shoot. Man-Bat. I forgot. This was the thing when he escaped on the island. Holy shit, and it's right by where the opera music is. For, what's his name? Professor Pig. I forgot about that. Right when I was in the middle of talking, the thing scared the shit out of me. There he is. That's disturbing. Professor Pig. It was on the same building. That's so crazy. I'll do side quests another time, I guess. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure ever since Berlanti, ever since with Supergirl, it's been stuff to push an agenda. They can't just do a diverse character. Other than, I think Vixen did a good job. Or, the animated Vixen. Vixen did a good job. It told a really good story. You know? But it's just, and I think, I mean, I don't think Freedom Fighters The Ray went that far either, as far as I know. But Supergirl, like, having stuff, like, going into, like, saying to guys, like, oh, like, oh, do you think I can't do this because I'm a girl, and other stuff, and it's like, oh, it's like, is this insulting to you? Is this, like, or it's like, what are you trying, like, it's like, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say this? Are you trying to say that? I heard it got better. I don't know. New season of Black Lightning, I don't know what to think about that. I saw the trailer, and it gave off, and I swear, it looks like, I even have it paused, and I see it looks like it's flashing. That's so weird. Guess it's a glitch. It's like where the bridge is. It's flashing white. But with the new season with Black Lightning, I guess him and his wife got captured, and it seems that, I guess, white people are still, or most of the white people are still evil and stuff, and it's like, if that's what you want to tell, if that's the story, or if that's what you want to go with, fine. Doesn't mean I'm gonna watch it if you're gonna go having every single freaking white character be evil. Flip it around to black people. And then watch the shit go, watch the shit roll by. Watch the shit roll by. Shadow War, okay. Because once it rolls by, if somebody did a show of a white hero and then all of the black people were villains, everybody would say it's racist, because it is. And it's the same if it's white people. I watched it for a little. Let me take care of this. I watched it for a little and then I got turned off. I decided to watch one of those commentary videos about it, and I still don't like it. That's what I'm saying, is that it's like, never had this problem with Luke Cage. Never really, like, it never went into all this allegories and stuff or whatever. Luke Cage is just helping out everybody in Harlem like a superhero does. All this stuff, it's like I see all this stuff on Black Lightning. Like, I need to help my people. I must help my people. And I'm like, aren't heroes supposed to save everybody? What if it was a white person and they said, I need to help my people? That can end up being racist if you're not careful. I didn't mind it as much as at first when it said about helping my people. like in season 1, because as far as I know, the show takes place, I know it's filmed in Atlanta. It takes place in Atlanta, I think. So I didn't mind that because...
You need to stay within range of the remote control.
You know, the area I live in, there's a lot of black people living in my area. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying it's realistic that Black Lightning, it takes place in Atlanta and has and has a lot of black people living in that area. That's being realistic. You know, it's or not realistic, but I'm trying to think of the word. Accurate. It's accurate to real life. So I didn't mind when she said, like, helping out my people in this. The only thing I had a problem with is that by season 2, other than freaking Gamby, any white characters they introduced is that, oh, they were evil, or they were white supremacists, or they were doing this, or they were doing that. I feel sorry for that, Sofia Vasilieva, who played, the Arrowverse version of this, character, Looker, who is either, I mentioned this before, she was either a bank teller who turned evil, or in New 52 she was a vampire. Let me see. What am I supposed to do? Okay, there we go. So it's like, is this what you're trying to portray, show? That every single white person in the show is evil or racist or goes and arrests black people out of freaking nowhere? And that's why I stopped watching. It wasn't because of him being a black hero, because, I mean, I watched Luke Cage. Luke Cage, I'd say, is a better show. He's just helping out people in his city. Just helping out anybody that lives there. So it's like, the point I'm trying to get is that based on the shows Berlanti's been doing lately, I don't even know, and especially with Batwoman, I don't think that there would be a show, like, I don't think there would be, he would have interest in Batman Beyond. Shoot. I don't think he'd have much interest in Batman Beyond unless he wanted to make it woke or something. That's all I'm saying. That's why it's like, when all this other stuff is like, that's like the only one I intend on finishing. The only one that, out of all of the shows, the only one that had characters that I got attached to, was Arrow. That was the only one. Flash, like, their characters were okay. I liked Joe. I liked his, Barry's adopted dad, Joe. He was pretty cool. Got a good actor to play him, too, because I know he used to be on, Law and Order, I think. From what I remember, from what I heard about him. Not that I watch Law and Order. I don't really watch that. Or shows like that. But Supergirl, like, characters on that were alright, I guess. I liked Cat Grant, but everybody else was okay. But I really got, like, the characters on Arrow felt like, I wouldn't say it like a big family, but it felt like these are really compelling characters with compelling lives and compelling stories and stuff. When they do something with them, at least. And not just do shit with Felicity. Legends, I mean, I think some of them had chemistry, I guess. And Black Lightning is, I mean, I can believe Jefferson and his the actress that plays the wife and then the 2 daughters, and I like the family aspect that they have. They do a good job selling to people that, hey, we're a family. We get into arguments and all this other stuff. Typical family stuff. But the point I was trying to make this time is that only one out of a bunch of I was personally getting back into just to see how it ends is Arrow. Flash just got stupid after season 2.
Car's empty. The Arkham Knight must have taken Oracle and moved on. I should examine the vehicle more closely.
But I'd love to see Batman Beyond. Another one I'd like to see. Another one, that's another one a lot of people have been wanting to see. They want to see Static. There was stuff years ago. This was, I think it was before. This was before.
Off an empty road.
I think before Flash, at least. I think, because I remember they said that they were going to do some web. They were going to do a web series. They were going to have Jaden Smith, and he was going to play Static. He was going to play Static, and that was what was...
I need to find a way to track Oracle before I leave.
And that would have been cool. Would have been cool to see. If there's one recent thing that I like that Arrow did, aha, evidence, a clue. We have a clue, sort of. Where did you land? I like that they brought this. I think this was introduced in Origins, I think, or City. One thing I liked recently that Arrow did in the last crossover, in the last crossover, which was Elseworlds, was they semi-confirmed that John Diggle from Arrow was an alternate universe version of John Stewart from the comics, because they had 90s Flash from the 90s Flash series. Where am I supposed to look for now? They had from the 90s Flash series, and that he... Let's see if it's right here. He recognized Diggle, and then he said something about, "Oh, hey, John, where's your power ring?" Or something along the lines of that. So it seems in another universe... Let me see, I think there's a clue here. Hey. Aha, okay. In another universe, he is John Stewart.
Torn off during the crash. If I can find where it came to rest, I can determine exactly what happened.
I don't like that the family or love interest in the CW get the exact same superpowers as the hero. There's no variation of the power. Unless you are, like, if you include, the sole exception being Arrow, because Mark Guggenheim, even as much as he loves Felicity, he made a point of saying Felicity would never become Green Arrow in the show. And then even his comic book love interest, Laurel Lance, didn't take up the bow and arrow either. So that's something, at least. Ha, there we go. Let me see. But yeah, they did that shit on Flash, and
Before the crash.
that pissed me off. Well, it didn't piss me off, but there was people saying that Barry acted like such a weakling in the episode because his power was transferred to Iris, and then he said, like, he made this big kick. She just barely became a speedster. I would say maybe for what? A few hours, a few days, I guess.
Analyze the point of impact for ballistic evidence.
And a few hours, a few days, and he's already acting like, oh, he's gonna hang it up. He's gonna hang it up and have her, someone who had just been a speedster for a few hours or a few days, become Flash, and that, oh, she's so much better. And then I heard the shit in the most recent season that apparently she was perfectly fine with Nora, their daughter, their future daughter. She was perfectly fine. I heard about this shit on Twitter because I don't watch the show anymore, because it just got really campy and ridiculous. The first 2 seasons were great though. But, or as much as someone as, like, a Barry hater like me could enjoy. But, what was it? The show, like, made it seem that she was perfectly fine with her daughter teaming up with, or working with, Reverse Flash. Even though Reverse Flash went pre-season 1, I know she throws something. I think she throws something in the boxes. She goes and she's perfectly fine with it, even though before season 1, they show in the flashback in the pilot that Reverse Flash kills his mom. What does she throw? I know she throws something. Weird. Maybe it's... I think it was while she's crawling away. That's what it was. So, goes and is perfectly fine with that. And there's all this... There you are. Okay. And then it's like... And that's like, that's like bad wife material right there. You're perfectly fine with your daughter working with the person who killed her, like, her husband's mother.
Oracle left me the scrambler device at the scene of the crash. Decrypt the data.
And I heard Iris has been pissing everybody off, and it's not because of her race or anything. It's just she's just become, from what I've heard from everybody, she's become the worst part of the show, just like Felicity did on Arrow. So, anyways, it's just been crazy. So, air to the cowl, okay. And get back in the Batmobile. I mean, what I can say about, and I know I've been running my mouth constantly, one thing I can at least appreciate about this is that the story is mixed in this game, but at least it's not anger inducing like 90% of Arrowverse writing, because it gets crazy. And it gets crazy how writers just forget about plots that happened. I'm gonna calm down, or not calm down, but not talk quite as much at least. Unless it's fine, I don't know. Anyways. Like when I was watching Arrow Season 6, they had this whole thing. They did this Arrow civil war between Team Arrow and then the recruits from Season 5. And they had Curtis go and hurt Diggle's arm, and they ended up having Diggle ends up apologizing to them for how crazy things went down. I'm like, who's the blockhead who wrote that episode? It should be the other way around. I'm fine with you talking while I'm actually landscaping so I don't have to type. Cool. Okay. But as I was saying, who is the blockhead who wrote that episode hurting his arm implant?